INDIEstructable Gaming. Select your character. Musket shot. Mr. K. Let the battle begin. Get ready for a battle unknown. 3, 2, 1.
All right. Hello and welcome to INDIEstructable Gaming More. I'm Musket Shot. Alongside me is my co-host, as always, Mr. K. Mr. K, hello.
Welcome back, everyone.
All right. So today we have two special guests with us from Developer Business Corp Inc. Incorporated. We have Benjamin Pilevsky and Socrates Sotos. They're here to talk about their company based in Montreal, Quebec, and their new game, King of the Hat, which has been released out on Steam just recently. And folks, you'll have to go check this out. It's an interesting platformer type fighting game with some other aspects to it. So definitely worth taking a look at. They reached out to us to have us take a look at it and do an interview. And well, here we are. So you guys, your company's name is Business Corp Incorporated right now, and you were formerly known as Hieroglyphic Games. Is that correct?
Fortunately, that couldn't be farther from the truth. Our company, well, it's actually, sorry, it's almost
close
the
to
truth.
the
It's
truth.
close to the
Close
truth.
to the truth,
Our
yeah.
company, Hat Games,
Yeah.
formerly known as Business Corp Incorporated, formerly known as Hieroglyphic Games.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
One more node.
Yeah.
Very sorry for all the name changes.
No, that's okay. And then you guys founded the company in 2013. Is that correct, or somewhere around that time?
Yeah,
It's
like
something like that.
2014, 2015 was when we launched our first game, and before that, it's like very cloudy.
Right. There you go. And your website right now is kingofthehat.com, which has basically some details about your new game that's come out on Steam. And you're also you're on Twitter at King of the Hat, right? Is that correct? Okay. And then do you have a Facebook page as well right now, or anything like that?
.com/King of the Hat.
Okay.
We
Great.
also have a Discord, discord.com. Sorry,
Okay.
Discord.gg/King of the Hat.
Okay, good. There we go. Okay, cool. So we'll get started in some of the questions we have for you. Mr. K, you want to kick it off?
Yeah. When did you guys begin your journey into developing video games?
That's a great question. Sock, do you want to go first?
Sure,
Yeah,
sure.
go ahead.
So when we started developing video games, this was like maybe 8 or 9 years ago now, maybe 10. Can't remember anymore. It's been such a long time, but we were in school and it was me and another developer, Chris, and we didn't really know what we wanted to do with our lives, and we didn't really enjoy being in school, and we felt like there needed to be something else. And so we decided to make a crazy move and quit school to develop video games. And we basically worked out of the same school that we stopped going to. Like, we just kept going to the school even though we weren't students. And we worked on the 12th floor with no internet, and we just figured out how to develop games. We developed 2 titles called Calypto and Zone, which kind of weren't that big. They were very, very tiny releases, but it was more just us getting a feel for how to make a game. And then we joined the independent video game program up in Montreal at Dawson. And at one of the gaming events, we met Ben, sitting right here.
Rock on.
And Ben was like, yo, I want to get into the game industry too. Ben is he's got a bachelor's in engineering.
Yes.
And he was like, you know what, engineering is also not fulfilling me in my life, and I really want to get into games.
It wasn't. It was not fulfilling me in my life.
And so we met up with Ben, and one thing that we feel is that when you start to work with a new partner, like, you don't want to just jump in and be like, all right, you can be our partner now. You kind of have to get a feel for a person and know if you want to work with them long term, because like we were talking about before the podcast started, making a game is so long, it takes forever.
Yeah.
And essentially making a game with someone, especially a long-term game, or building a company with them, is like getting married. You know, like I see Ben like pretty much every single day. We share a bank account together. Like we couldn't be closer to married than we are, basically.
Yeah,
Right.
it's true. There's a lot of trust,
Yeah.
and it has to be that way because like there's just so much to do, so things have to move quickly, and best way to do that is just to have a nice old, you know, trustful relationship. Trust you, you trust me.
Yeah. If all that got you.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's always
You
a
have
good thing.
to really both be willing to work with each other too, and I'm sure probably deal with differences too of opinions at times to come up with like the best plan for the game too, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
mostly like almost every day.
Yeah, every day. But I think that's for me, that's the best part is the difference of opinions, because that's where like, that's really where the color splash comes out. That's where like everyone's position shines. So it's not a bad thing. It's like when there's a lot of it and it's moving nicely and smoothly, and you just feel like everyone's voice is kind of getting out there, but the decisions are still being made. It feels great.
Yeah.
Nice collaborative.
Now,
Now,
was
how-
there a what were we gonna say?
I was going to ask now, how many folks within your company are working on the game right now, or worked on the game with you?
So now we're 4 people. So when we met Ben at this gaming event, we decided to do a game jam together to just get a feel for like the working relationship. And the game jam that we made was actually the prototype for King of the Hat, which was nothing like, it was similar to King of the Hat, but not exactly. It was a game where you have to jump on the other person's head to kill them. That's it. No hat, nothing.
It's called Protect Your Head.
Protect your head.
Yeah. You had to jump on their head one move, which was like a stall. You could stall in the air for like an extra 1 second of hang time and psych your opponent out.
And we
Oh,
thought
that's
it was
kind of cool.
We thought it was the best game in the world. We're like, this game is so good. Because people at the game jam were liking it. We're like, this is the best game. We killed it, you know?
Yeah.
And then like we came back to it a week later, after we did a different game jam. We're like, let's go play that game again, the best one. And then we were like, man, this game actually isn't that good. Like, we might have to do some work on this.
That's pretty good though that you could recognize that though, and look at it, not look at it in like different glasses. You know, just look at it and go, okay, yeah, it's not as good as we thought it was. Maybe we need to improve on certain things. You know.
What happens at these game jams is you become a little starved for fun because nobody is making anything fun. So just
Right.
there's just a ton of startup costs to make a game. So the moment you find something enjoyable, it's kind of like finding a diamond. You're just like, oh my God, but really you're just starved for
Yeah.
like regular taste.
Yeah.
So I thought it was great, but then it turns out that it wasn't as good.
Yeah. Now, did you guys win the game jam?
We lost to
No.
Snail.
Did we?
I think we lost to Snail Game.
Okay,
Yeah.
I guess we lost the snail game. It's been so long, you know, that was like 5 years ago.
I think we won like an award. We may have got on like audience choice, but I don't think we got best game.
I don't know.
I don't remember.
It's good. It's
Yeah,
been a
great
long
question,
time,
yeah.
but we ended up taking that game jam and decided to make it into our final project at school. And like throughout that semester, that's when we started to get a feel for how Ben works. And we were like, yeah, okay, we want to work with Ben long term. And from there, you know, we graduate. The game went from becoming a student project to being like a full-fledged, like this is a commercial title. And we signed a deal with Discord to be one of their first on Discord games, which is like what do you call it? It was kind of like a Netflix original type thing, but for Discord when they did their store. Like
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah, there's a whole saga, you know, King of the Hat.
You're gonna have to write a book.
Yeah, exactly.
It's honestly book
The memoirs.
It's book worthy at this point. Like there's enough of that transpired that you could fill the
true.
pages.
It's true.
Yeah.
And
Right.
when we did the Discord deal, that's where we just hired like a whole bunch of people.
Mhm.
And of that whole crew of people that we hired, there was one person that really, really stood out as like the best person I've ever hired, which is not that many people, which was Neil. And then we decided that we wanted Neil to be a partner on the team with us because Neil is just dope. And so that's how the team became the situation that it is now, which is like 4 people. It's you know, Ben, Chris, Neil, and I, and now we're just, you know, working on King of the Hat, trying to make it as good of a game as possible.
Cool.
That is pretty neat. Now, was there a specific game or an event that inspired you to start the gaming industry, or Was it that game jam that kind of started it all?
To start in the gaming industry.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it was like a series, like I think we had different starts, but for me, it was a series of events that started with this trade show that I went to in Boston.
PAX East.
No, actually, it was a trade show because my ex-girlfriend was at MIT, so it was supposed to be only for MIT students, but I snuck in
Okay.
to be an MIT student, which I wasn't. And I went booth to booth, just pitching myself. And I was
You're just like, oh, this is Massachusetts. It's wicked cool here in Pisa.
mass and just like saying dumb stuff
Yeah.
and then yeah, there were gaming companies. There were so many gaming companies, and I was just like, it was my first time actually seeing gaming companies present themselves outwardly. And then after that, I went to Megamigs and met Socrates in the story that we told previously. Yeah.
Yeah, and for me, it was really that whole thing about not liking school specifically, and from there, it was like a question of what could I do, and you know, I wanted to be a musician for a long time. I was in college for music and sciences, and you know, at some point, I had a conversation with Chris, and I was like, you know, I want to be a musician. What do you want to do with your life? And he's like, well, I don't know. I'm not really good at anything, so I don't really know what to do. And then I was like, well, you're really good at playing games. Like, you're a top tier StarCraft player. You're a top tier Han player. Like, maybe you should make a game. And he's like, okay. And then I forgot about the conversation completely. And then he comes back on Monday and he's like, yeah, so I started making a game. And then when he was doing that, I was like, well, if you make a game, maybe I can make the music for the game. And then it ended up with like, we didn't have a programmer. So we tried to find programmers, and then nobody was willing to do the programming. So then suddenly I started programming, and, you know, having a science background, it made it like easy to jump into it. And that's kind of how that started for me.
So do you enjoy the programming part of it, or is that
It's love-hate. It's love-hate.
yes, that's what I was gonna say. It must be a love-hate relationship, because I've done some stuff and it's always like that too. Yeah.
You know, being a programmer is like one of the most important roles in the team, although it doesn't appear that way when you look at a game, because, you know, it's really the artwork that shines first, the music that shines first, and then you pick it up and you feel the controls. But every game jam team or every like project that I've been on, the bottleneck always ends up being like, how good of a coder do you have? You know, so as a coder, you play a really important role. But coding is, it can be frustrating sometimes, because, you know, you think that your logic is perfect, but it doesn't work. And so you're just yelling at the computer like, why don't you work? The logic is flawless. And then you realize like 10 minutes later, it's like, oh, I'm the idiot.
Yeah.
The whole time, it was me.
Yeah, I found when just doing whatever little programming I've done, it's like, you know, you do one thing wrong within that program and you don't catch it. It drives you crazy till you find it, and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I made that mistake. It's like, that's what it was. That's what held it all up. It's like, so I know you guys changed the name to Hieroglyphic Games. We don't really need to go into that too much, but if you guys want to talk about why you changed it to what you are now, you went from Business Corp Inc. to Hat Games now, or Hat Team. Is it Hat Games?
Hat Games. Also known as Hat Team on our Discord server. You know, when we write messages, sometimes we sign off as the Hat Team. We've changed it to Hat Games because we're making King of the Hat, and it's kind of how people know us at this point. It's like, oh, the Hat, it's the Hat Team, the Hat Games. So it's kind of a name that's already been given in a sense.
Yeah.
And yes,
kind of makes sense, right? Yeah. Simple and easy.
But also, we started with hieroglyphic, which like for the people who can't actually see the name spelling, it's like hieroglyphic with a Y, a PH, and a K.
Yeah, it was different, very different spelling of it. It was kind of cool.
People did not get that one though. Like when we tell them like it's hieroglyphic, and they're like, cool, hieroglyphic, like hieroglyphics. And it's like, no, not like the hieroglyphics, like this weird spelling that we made up. Can't find you online, like, you know.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. It's like, if it's got a weird spelling, people are like, oh, I can't find you anywhere. I don't know, maybe they don't exist, you know. Maybe they gave me they gave me a fake name. Now for you guys worked on Calypto, which is like a card-based game. So that's not even, video game related. It's card-based tabletop type stuff. So how did you guys get into that? Was that something like, oh, you guys are just playing around with something and you thought, hey, this is kind of a cool idea, and then kind of took it off from there?
Well, for that one, it's like when we started off, we didn't know how to code. And so what we did is we started programming these like prototypes in Java, which like kind of makes no sense for us. But at some point we were just like, okay, what if we just didn't make a game that required coding? And it just came out really fast. It was like a year or something that we developed that. So that was the idea behind it. It's just we needed to practice making games, and that was just like an exercise in shipping. It was a first project, so it didn't get that far, but it's still something we put a lot of love into and something we enjoy making. But now we've moved on.
Right. Now you did also a mobile game called Zom, is that correct? So again, it's completely different, and that was like arcade style game about difficulties of meditation from what I read online, and then you had like 100 levels and 7 different souls to play. So it sounds pretty involved for a mobile game. So where did you guys start, or how did you start with that one?
So that one was the same kind of idea, is that we just wanted to make something small that we could actually ship.
Yeah.
And so again, an exercise in shipping. It was something we put a lot of love into also, but we weren't as skilled game devs when we made that as when we made King of the Hat. So it's always stepping stones, I find, when it comes to making games, because like we said before, making a game is so tough that you want to start with the smallest possible thing. You want to pick something that you actually can ship.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sir, go ahead.
No, I was going to say that, in doing a few of these interviews with developers, you just mentioned it, Socrates, that's the one thing I think we've heard each time, is that start with something small, something you can do and actually finish and complete. It doesn't have to be the greatest game, but it has, if it's something that you can build and do and put out there, at least it gets you started, and it adds to your, kind of starts your building your resume of games.
Yeah, and even taking away like the practical component from it, like making games is just a really nice exercise you can do to practice a multidisciplinary art that touches on math, art, sounds, the principles of user interface design and software. So I do feel that like one thing I wish I had done when I started playing games was just started making games immediately. It's just a nicer way to interact with the medium. You just start seeing behind the curtain and just like, oh, that's how this thing is made. That's how this thing kind of fits together. And for that reason, I would just recommend it, even regardless of career interests.
Yeah,
there are a ton of YouTube videos like how to make a game in an hour. That just
right.
And just great for demystifying certain areas of game dev.
Is there any do you use like any specific software that you find that is easy to work with, or have you just tried a bunch of different ones that have kind of been one that you picked?
We're messing around in the Unity engine with C#.
Yeah.
I know that, and like I've dabbled with P5 and HTML Canvas, which is more of like a renderer than a game engine, but those are cool because they're on the web. I'm sure Sock can try a bunch of stuff too.
Yeah, I mean, at first we were using just Java with like a custom engine. Then we switched to JavaScript and built web games where we had like it was like a tiny engine, and we just copy pasted all the code every time and made things like in an afternoon, as fast as possible. Like, doesn't matter if it's good, doesn't matter if it looks good, just doesn't matter. Just in an afternoon, make something, put it in front of somebody and watch them play. Because watching somebody play gives you all the answers. You know if it's fun, you know if it's not fun. And ultimately what you're trying to discover as a game developer is how do you make something fun?
Right.
And I still remember like the first time when I made something and somebody then asked me, hey, can I play that thing? Like on a different day.
Nice.
And I was like, what? You want to play that? Like, what the hell?
That's funny.
Yeah.
So how did King of the Hat start?
So it's we made it in a game jam, and at the time it was called Protect Ahead. And then we had to kind of ship it for the vernissage of this program that Sock mentioned earlier called Independent Game Design at Dawson College in Montreal. And kind of put a 3-month timer on the game, which then evolved over those 3 months and became King of the Hat for the final vernissage.
Yeah, so like it started with you have to jump on the opponent's head to win. And we were like, that's not, it's not deep enough. There's not enough stuff going on. So we were like, okay, well, what if like while you move left and right, there was something attached to your head that also like does this. And then we started messing around with what could the potential skin of the game be? You know, so one of them was like, what if we're astronauts in space and you jump on the astronaut helmet, it breaks their helmet and they, you know, they die from the lack of air. Or like, what if it's robots with a self-destruct button and you get exploded? And one of them was like really wild and out there. I was like, what if you're a person with a hat and the hat has your soul in it, and if somebody jumps in your hat, you shrivel up and die. We're like, that's hilarious. Let's go with that.
Winner.
So like we did that thing where the thing on top was now a hat and like you move left and right. It added a little bit of depth, but we were like still not there. So what if you could throw the hat, you know, away from yourself? So now you're playing this game, you're trying to jump on the person's head, but you can throw your hat away. So like if they're trying to jump on you, you throw your hat, they hit your head, and then they have to go get your hat, but you can also get your hat. And we were like, okay, it's good, but I don't really know why I'm throwing my hat. You know, it doesn't do anything. And then the sauce came together when we were like, what if the hat was a weapon also that you could throw and beat people up with? And that's when it was like, oh, you know?
Mm.
But this happened over the course of like, you know, a month.
Well, it's pretty good. I mean, just over a month, you were able to figure that out. I mean, it, for some
kinda
developers,
crazy.
it's probably years of trying to
Yeah,
figure out, like,
exactly.
oh, if this doesn't work, I still don't know what to do with it. You know, so that's pretty good. Are you now? It's on Steam right now.
Mhm.
Were there hopes that maybe someday let's put it on? Maybe we can put it on Xbox or Switch or PlayStation or whatever.
Yes, more than hopes. There's plans. We're gonna launch on console next year, and stay tuned for
Oh, nice.
announcements regarding that. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Wow.
We have a trailer with Nintendo.
Oh, cool.
Oh yeah, I did see that today.
Yeah, Mr. K has the Switch, so he's a big Nintendo fan.
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, we're also huge Nintendo. We're Nintendo babies. You know, we grew up and my mom had a what's it called, an old Nintendo, the NES.
Yep.
Play that. I used to play circus with her. And then you know, we both had N64s and GameCube. That's where we grew up, in the GameCube N64 era.
I think that's the same with Mr. K. Yeah.
Yeah, I grew up with the N64 GameCube era.
Oh yeah.
What's your favorite Nintendo game or series?
Man, good question. Favorite is
That's
a hard one. It's such a hard one. I can just tell you a bunch of things that touched me as a kid, like, you know, Ocarina of Time for sure.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
Classic.
Yeah.
Pikmin was so sick.
Yeah. Pikmin was sick, man.
Excited for the fourth one.
Yeah, I haven't tried any of the new Pikmins. I feel like I want to, and I just never have the system, you know.
That's fair.
But
You
yeah,
gotta
They're pretty good though.
what's your favorite what do you call it? A series?
Did you hear that, Mr. K? What's your favorite series?
Oh no, I did not hear that. Didn't come through. Every once in a while it kind of lags a little bit. Not so much anymore, but I don't know. That's a hard one too. I definitely like the Super Smash Bros. Series. Grew up with that. Pokemon was a go-to for me.
Oh, yes.
Used to hang on that like, I don't know, like flies to sugar as a kid.
And Pokemon was so sick.
Gengar was my favorite one.
Oh my god, Gengar is sick, but you have to trade.
Yeah, that's the only thing that sucked about him. But I have this giant plush with me actually next to me right now.
That was sick.
I used to carry him around as a kid. He's a nice neck pillow now, but really
Yeah.
comfy. But yeah, I like Pokemon. But I don't know. I've been excited for the new one. I've seen some videos and that seems to be pretty good so far.
Yeah,
Have you
it's
guys-
like-
Have you guys ever tried any of the emulators online to try to play some of the old old games again, just to.
I used to play Pokemon Showdown actually. I played it recently, which is like it's like a juiced out Pokemon thing where you can set all your stats and stuff, and then you play competitive Pokemon. Because I got really interested in competitive Pokemon for a while, and to actually have the Pokemon that are competitive in game is like so hard because you have to like breed them and get the right EVs and IVs and stuff like this, and it takes like 10 years. And you can just like set that up on Pokemon Showdown. I was like, yes, get me in here.
Isn't that the in browser one?
Yeah,
I
exactly.
think my friends used to play that in middle school. I remember that. I never played it myself. I was more of a casual player when it came to Pokemon, but I understood how fun it was when you tried to play competitively.
Mm.
Should I ask the next question?
Yeah, I think we've already touched.
They kind of
on that.
already, they already kind of.
Yeah, because we were going to ask about the how you die in the game, but and other ideas that you have thrown around there. But I think
we blasted through the question stack.
Yeah, I think we can skip that one. So you want to do the next one?
Yeah, I'll do the next one. Can you tell me about some of the characters in the game and some of their abilities? I played the game, but maybe some people who are listening haven't played the game.
There's like a whole cast of characters inspired by the layout of like, Super Smash Bros. Or any asymmetric character-based game. And, there's a birthday kid with like a great personality and sweet all-around stats. There's a Yeti that can hover. There's a dark version, like an evil version of the birthday kid. Like his name's Dark Birthday.
Dark Birthday.
And he has a hat that grows when he grows it. There's a
Dongle, who's a Japanese eggplant
Yes.
that walks upside down.
Yes.
That's great.
Yeah. So Dongle is the newest addition to the game, and like Sock said, he's a Japanese eggplant that runs on the ceiling.
There's a washing machine in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I played as him earlier. That was fun. What's the I saw when I played, they have a bunch of like they say like something at the bottom, like a tip that says what they do, and they for the washing machine, it just says it doesn't want to hurt anyone. Is there a secret to the washing machine?
The washing machine falls incredibly fast.
Yes.
Oh.
And then there's also Washing Machine Junior, because this game has been out, like it's been in development so long that Washing Machine had a kid.
Got to keep that legacy going.
Yeah.
So like the game changes, the characters change, their lives continue. So we can't pretend like that's not happening behind the scenes.
I did see on the Twitter that you guys were talking about adding a cheeseburger.
20 likes on that post in order to get the cheeseburger.
Oh, I think we liked it. If I haven't, I meant to because I really wanted to see that.
We'll have to get that retweeted like 1,000 times or something like that.
Yeah, put some googly eyes on a cheeseburger. I'd love that.
I realize people like things in their regular lives that can become game characters.
Right.
I always loved the weird characters in games. They've always resonated with me.
So,
Like, for example, like Tekken, you can play as, Roger Jr., the kangaroo that boxes, or Alex the dinosaur.
Sick character.
That's sick.
We have Dantosaurus in our game, not released yet. You'll have to bleep this part of the interview out, or saucy spoiler. It's up to you. But I was very inspired by Missing Note back in the day. It's like an unofficial official character.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you encountered this one from Pokemon, but there's a bug that displayed on the screen as Missing No, short for missing number, and his name was generated by memory leak in the game. It's kind of beautiful.
I would like to know how you unlock this secret character in the game. That's for sure.
I mean, there was a point where you could just get it, and we're like, oh shit, all the new characters are released. Oops. It was just a bug that if you press like a random character, it
would just show up.
Oh, that's
all the new characters, and we're just like, oh no, it's fine.
Was that out to the public yet, or was that just kind of like a in-house kind of bug you guys just noticed?
It was during the open beta, so yeah.
Yeah, I think it was our community who told us about it. They'll generally find it way faster than we do.
Now, can you tell us about some of the different playable options in the games? I saw some hat golf last night, which looked like fun. So is there other options of different type of gameplay besides one-on-one multiplayer fighting or fighting against a bot?
Currently, it's oh sorry, there's one more. There's golf. There's hat hunters where you have to jump on as many hats as you can within a certain amount of time. There's last
Okay.
hat stand where you have to be the last person on the screen. There's golf. I already said that. I think I did.
Yeah.
And arcade mode finally, which is basically a series of successive ladder-like matches similar to Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
For 10 ladder matches, and you fight Fat Cat at the end, and then you fight him again at the very end. So
And there's also golf. Did you see that one?
what's it called? Golf. Yes, thank you. Golf.
Yeah, I was watching the gameplay last night, and somebody was doing the golf, and it was pretty fun watching that. And then it went into the ladder match, where you fought Fat Cat a couple times, so that was pretty good. And I like the fact that you can now is that in the game, if you lose a match and it's a best of 5, right? And almost kind of like tennis, where you have to have you get to a certain point, you have advantage, or if you get tied, it's just like deuce. If you're 4-4, it's deuce, and then there's an advantage if you win the next one, and then you have to win the next one, otherwise it goes back to deuce or stuff like that. So that's kind of cool gameplay. But I like the fact that you can also replay that match, right? Is that common all the time, or was that just in what I was watching in the gameplay?
I was doing it earlier. When
Oh,
I
you
was
are? Okay.
playing.
So that's,
Yeah.
I like that, because that's sometimes like it's like with Mortal Kombat or some of the other ones, you die and it's like, oh crap, I gotta go through this whole thing again.
Can I give a quick sports recommendation if you're gonna add any more?
Oh yeah.
Sure.
Please.
Dodgeball with hats.
Yes, that's a great idea.
How would that work? Tell me about it.
You can probably run around, jump on platforms, throw hats across the line and all that. You couldn't go across the line, of course, because it's dodgeball. And they, I don't know, have some bots, have multiple people up there. It could be interesting.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. Cool.
Yeah, that one. No. Keep the
Yeah.
two sides separate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have to you have to do open up to a lot of the multiplayer folks then, right? Or I guess you could have bots in there too, but
Yeah,
yeah,
the bots seemed pretty good when I played.
yeah, they seem very tough.
Probably know what to do.
Thank
Yeah.
you, thank you. That was a lot of work.
Oh, I've seen plenty of games where bots are like relentless or they're just hilariously awful, but you guys got it down pat. They're not too hard or too easy. They're just right.
Thank you very much.
Well done.
It was a lot. That was a ton.
Yeah, it's a ton of work.
But so I've been keeping an eye on this game. You guys most likely have heard of it. It'd be funny if you didn't, but Fraymakers. That's
Yes,
been
of course.
going around, and birthdays in it, which I'm very excited about.
Yes.
How does that make you guys feel? That must feel exciting.
Honestly, it's feels very it's like I'm honored. You know, it feels like it's an honor to be put in Framemakers. That game looks great.
And also apparently birthday's OP right now.
Oh, is
Which
he
makes
in
me-
the did they add him in the closed build?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, I'm about to play because I'm enrolled in that, so I'll have to check him out. I didn't even realize.
Yeah, apparently his OP. His move is he throws his hat.
I'll
You know,
have to check that out after this.
the king of the hat moves, and it breaks shield. I think that's what they were telling me. That's why it's so strong.
Oh, that's really good.
Now, did the developers of Framemakers reach out to you guys for that to get your character in there, or did you know them somehow? And
There's like an event that happens every year called Super Smash Con.
oh, okay,
We just went there randomly one year when we were doing like a ton of events, just like as many events as possible. And we were one of the indie games, and the reception was great. People loved the game. We ran like 100-person tournament, like impromptu tournament. And the people who made Framemakers also are the people who made Super Smash Flash.
That's a very popular one.
Yeah, exactly. And so they were showing Super Smash Flash there. And then at some point, like we kept going back to Super Smash Con. At some point they were like, yo, so we're planning on making a game that's like a combo of all these indie games. Like, do you want to be part of it? And we're like, that would be sick. You know?
yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty cool. if you could choose any character right now to just become a full fighter, who would you choose?
Oh, good question. Probably washing machine.
Epic dongle.
Epic.
Oh, I was really hoping you'd say washing machine. I was thinking washing machine.
I mean, I would go with dongle too, you know?
No, washing machine's the more responsible pick.
Yeah,
Dongle is unproven.
it's true. Yeah, that would be pretty cool
So
too.
people mistake it for Madeline a little bit.
It's true, yeah.
So
Yeah,
washing machine iconic.
It's the most iconic character in the game.
I definitely like washing machine.
Yeah, when we first added washing machine to the game, it was actually because like we got tired of animating, and we're like, you know, wouldn't it be sick if we had a character that had no arms or legs, so we didn't have to animate the arms and legs.
Then
And
it
then
becomes like the popular character.
That's what it was. Like we added it to the game, and then like went to a convention the next day, and all the parents were like, "Washing machine? I know what that is." I'll do that."
Now, do you guys consider this like an easy to learn game for those that are maybe not as familiar with like the fighting style Smash Brother type platformers?
Yeah, I consider it easy to learn, but with the one barrier to entry of using a controller. But even if you don't, using a controller or using a keyboard as a gamepad, if you haven't really done that, it's not a super easy game to play. It's very like the controls are simple, but there's a lot of nuance put into the controls. But beyond that, if you've picked up a controller or used a keyboard as a gamepad or a controller, I think it's very easy to learn.
It also depends with who you're playing, with whom. I'm not sure which word, but like kids will play the game together and they like don't know how to use the controller properly, but they'll have a great time because they're just trying to jump on each other's heads. They don't know how to do it super well and they're at the same skill level. But if you don't know how to use a controller and you're playing against somebody who does, then you're gonna have a bad time.
Yep. It's kind of like when I play Mr. K in a lot of these platformer things. I'm just pounding buttons and just trying to kill them. And when I actually win, I'm like, yes, all right, finally. I'm not getting shut out.
Let's get mad and let's do it.
Yeah. So do you guys want to show us some of the gameplay? Do you want to bring it up and tell us about what we're looking at? And
Sure.
all right.
You might have to give them permission. I'm not exactly sure.
I think I
know
already
usually
did.
when I try to, okay, I just want to make sure. Because whenever I try to stream, it usually tells me I need permission.
All right. Well, we'll see.
Stand by.
Mm-hmm. No
Yeah.
problem.
I see the
Yeah,
problem.
take your time.
Yeah, so recently Unity has been Steam thinks that Unity is King of the Hat, so we can't develop King of the Hat and play King of the Hat at the same time, which is what we're doing.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, I think it's because like the Steam API runs in the Unity editor, so it confuses Steam.
All right, can you see that?
Yep, absolutely.
All right,
Yeah.
nice.
Great. So here's the game. Let's put on some music a little bit.
Controls.
Yes. Here, you take. Yeah, that's good.
We play with OG GameCube controllers actually.
Oh, really? That's
Isn't
pretty
that
neat.
wild?
Yeah, that's how the game was developed.
Oh, that's the same exact one I have or had as a kid. That's funny.
Yeah, what's funny also is that we have 4 Wavebirds now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which if I had if I had 4 Wavebirds as a kid, I would just like go nuts and be like, holy crap, 4
Yeah.
Wavebirds.
Loaded.
So I'm in it. But now that I'm an adult, I'm like, now where do we store all these Wavebirds, man?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. All right, so you both played this? Or you said you've just seen footage and
I just watched footage last night of the gameplay, and Mr. K has played it, so he's more familiar than I am. But I did
So-
see you play quite a few of the characters.
we'll start just by playing the base game.
Yeah, this is not all of this.
Oh,
You can code and come back here.
should I?
So did you any of you guys do the voice acting or?
Yeah, so I did the announcement.
Captain Hat.
And then Ben, I think you also did some voices for the characters.
That's all.
Yeah.
Dialogue sound.
Yeah, I messed around to do a bunch of character voices. I think like I did
They sound pretty good though. I like them.
Okay, so the way you play the game is Soccer has to jump on my hat. Do the same result on his hat. So just
Jump on your opponent's hat to win. The hat doesn't have to be on your head. Like if the hat is over there, you can still jump on it and it will kill.
Yeah.
Jump on the head though. It really has to be jumping on the hat. That's like that's the simple part of the game. And then the twist is that you can throw your hat. And when you throw your hat, it becomes a weapon that you can use to beat your opponent up. So for example, if I throw my hat, it'll knock Ben's hat off and it'll knock him away. And so it makes it easier for him to jump on the hat. And like the whole game itself is about managing the hat and the character. When you throw your hat, it goes on fire. When it's on fire, it's unkillable. And so like keeping the hat on fire is generally pretty strong. As you can see, Ben is like beating the crap out of me here. I am the worst of the dev team currently. All the characters have different like abilities and stuff like this.
Is this just kind of like a free for all?
Right now, yeah.
Okay, because I know you guys couldn't change the rules earlier, and I was curious because usually it goes up to 5.
Yeah, right now we haven't unlocked the rules yet. So this is the like the default mode right now for multiplayer. Is this timed mode where you have to get as many kills as possible. And we did that because in 4-player matches, it's more engaging. Because
Oh yeah, it must be way more hectic.
yeah, it's definitely more hectic. But also when it was up to 5, 2 players would just be out of the game for like a while, and then they'd just be twiddling their thumbs while the other players were playing. And so we added this to kind of give them like constant. They die, they come back in, they can try again.
yeah, exactly.
Now, can you control the hat like where you want to throw it and stuff?
Yes, of course. So you can throw it in all directions. For example, you can throw it up, you can throw it down.
And then once you throw it, you can also apply a little bit of a curve to it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that I didn't know about.
And then there's also this move, which is like right. We're gonna enable God mode now, so we can just show you guys a bunch of the new features.
Okay.
Oh, God mode.
So, yeah. Okay, great.
Oh, this is stuff I'm probably never gonna see. For
Secret
now,
weapon.
at least. Yeah.
Nice, we did it. God mode.
Is the
entered.
Konami code?
It's something like that. We have. If
Oh,
you can
I have
find
to.
it, if you can find it, it's there.
Oh, that's a challenge I'm willing to accept.
It's definitely a challenge.
So yeah, this is Dongle.
Oh, there's not. Okay.
That's great.
And I'll take a character request if you got one.
You're gonna have to show musket shot washing machine.
Oh yes. Yes.
Or,
The eggplant versus the washing machine.
so yeah, we have a ton of levels as well.
Oh, gee,
Yeah.
that's a lot.
I think it's like something like 69 levels. something like that.
Wow.
Jeez,
Yeah.
that's nuts.
That's
He's got a
all.
little cleaver. Gee, wow.
It's a
Ready.
pot.
Yeah, it's a pot. He's like a
Oh, it's
pot.
a pod. Okay.
Oh, I like the fact that he can walk around on the top,
That's really
upside
cool.
down. It's cool.
Yeah, right now we're trying to add new characters that really push the space. At first, we were trying to keep the characters relatively similar, but then we felt that the more different we made the characters, the more interesting the game became.
Mhm.
Oh,
Cool.
Now, how hard is it to, you're doing the programming for this to create something like this where he's going to be all over the screen? I mean, is there a lot of coding involved in that?
the upside down thing.
Yeah.
Well, for that, it's actually it's just rotating all the physics. So
Okay.
every single force that you apply just gets rotated to upside down.
Hmm.
Is not that difficult.
Yeah.
It creates a bunch of edge cases, and that's like the hard part. Is that like, for example, some animations won't work properly, some particles won't play properly, and then also balancing.
Hmm.
That's where the devil is. and stuff. Also have these bumpers in this level, which oh my god.
Sorry.
Ben beats me up.
These bumpers are great. I've been messing around.
That's nasty. I love that. That's crazy.
I like that you can use the platforms to bounce your hat off of them and then kind of hit.
What about you got any stages with like portals?
Yes, we do.
Oh, really? Oh, that's awesome. Oh,
Oh, I did see this. Oh,
no, that's
I saw
cool.
this stage, but I didn't see the portals.
It's washing machine.
Yeah, these circular crazy things.
One, hats on.
Oh, can you not go into those?
You can
Oh,
go
that's
up this way. You can go this way, and you can also.
oh,
Oh,
okay, that's really cool.
Go...
Levels where like you never want to go through the portal. Just throw your hat through the portal.
Yeah, never throw your hat through the portal.
Like here, I'm just
Now
like
he's
I'm screwed. Yeah.
and do the portals do they reappear in each space at the same time each time, or do they bounce around from on the screen different places?
That's an interesting idea.
Yeah, having them bounce around is great, actually.
It's pretty cool though. That's pretty challenging though.
Yeah, it's like
It looks really fun though.
Yeah.
it's like 8D chess. You know, you got to think about so many different places the opponent can come out of. Oh my
Right.
god, you have to worry about yourself accidentally going through the portals like I just did. 3 times in a row.
What I like to do is just cross the portal, you know, just stay here and wait.
Yeah, right.
Like, oh, you finally figured out how to attack. Okay.
Guess who's at over there? Ah! No!
So say if I do find this god mode, does it stay or do I have to activate it every time I load the game?
You would have to activate every time you load the game.
Oh, that's gonna be harder. So then I want to remember.
Yeah, that means you really have to crack it. Oh my god.
Now that you could play up to what, 4 players?
Yeah, exactly. People have asked us for more, but I don't think we're going to be able to do that anytime soon.
Yeah,
Like 4 players, you know?
right. Well, I would think doing more than 4 players is a lot more involved as far as
Demanding.
programming and everything else too, right?
Yeah. We would probably have to make way bigger levels.
Right. Yeah.
It's exactly what Smash did. Took them at least 4 games to get that going.
Yeah. I mean, it's really hard to design for so many different numbers of players. Because the experience at 2 players and the experience at 4 players and the experience at 8 players is very different.
It must be also really demanding for the engine too.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Like we have this one level, the ultimate box level.
Oh yeah.
Washing machine. Up and Buster.
This one.
Oh wow.
Whoa. That looks like Bomberman a little bit.
And Buster. 3, 2, 1, hats on.
Oh, cool.
Okay, I was not expecting that. That caught me off guard.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, that was great.
Yeah, this level struggles online sometimes, and we're like, oh man, how do we make the game fast enough to handle all these boxes? You see Ben's taking my butt cup?
Oh, just like what else? Let's show some other stuff. Let's go What about? I mean, the game can be played in a much more hectic capacity with like.
Yeah, let's make it the most hectic as possible.
Yeah. Well.
All right.
I like the sound of that.
Oh, you can change the difficulty on them bots too.
Yeah.
Level 10
Let's
bots.
play the bots. Sock&I versus the level 10 bots.
Yeah, level 10 bots.
How difficult are the level 10s?
Oh, you're about
Last
to
man
find
standing?
out. Yeah, last man standing.
What do you want as the team? Back at Dark Birthday?
Let's do Dark Birthday. Yeah, Dark Birthday, and let's do that's perfect.
Millennium Hills?
This is a slightly bigger map. Maybe we can do like this one.
Yeah. Okay.
Ooh, there you go.
I like that one.
Birthday! 2, 1, hats on!
Okay, here we go. I just killed myself with lava.
Oh, there's lava.
Oh,
Wait, let's pick a level with no lava.
No lava. Okay.
Yeah, that way we can let the bots really kick our asses.
Yeah, it's true. Well, we'll see.
That would have been my first move too. Would have been right in the lava. I would have been like, son of a.
Dark birthday!
All right, here we go.
3, 2,
DS bots.
1, hats on!
Oh my god. Okay, they killed me. I'm sorry, Ben.
That's okay. I got one of them.
Okay, good.
Oh,
Yes, that's a point.
these are max level bots, so we'll see if they're pretty good. They can definitely mess you up.
Yeah.
Yes, I got one.
Yeah, they're-
Nice, yeah, we're too good.
I got the
These bots
moves.
got nothing on us. These bots got nothing on us. The thing about these bots, they don't know how to team up. That's the secret. to
Yeah,
winning
it's true.
teams.
It's true. Teams are a very different game.
Right.
damn. You're destroying them.
Okay, well, they got it.
There we go.
Yeah, they learned how to team up. Yeah, they learned how to team up there. Because what you got to do in this game is when you're in teams, you got to control the channel. That's like the most important thing.
Yeah, it's true.
Control the channel. And like to control the channel is you just got to both team up on the same character and just beat the crap out of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're coming back. Bots are coming back. We're not controlling the channel anymore. Right, control the channel. Oh no, control the channel.
Ooh.
Hats on!
Oh no.
Crazy, Eric. I can imagine our mascot being in this. He'd fit in perfectly with this weird design.
All right, we beat the bots.
Nice. Nice.
Well done.
That was pretty well done.
Now there was one of the characters last night I watched that has they have a hat, but then they also throw like there's like two other like triangular things that go flying around too. That sort of I think try to disrupt your gameplay a little bit.
Oh, are you talking about the end of arcade mode?
Yeah,
Like
final
Final
boss.
Yeah, I think
Yes.
he's talking about yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can actually show that if you want.
We get there.
Would you have to go through the whole arcade mode or?
By using we can use
Okay.
PS9.
Okay.
Yeah, we can use God mode hacks.
It's a bit slow. I feel like to go through.
Look at
Yeah,
that.
that's all right. You don't have to do
Yeah,
that.
don't worry about it.
Don't worry about that.
You can always just watch me play if he really wants to see it or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be playing.
Oh yeah, true. We could. That'd be cool.
Yeah, we also have this golf mode. There's only golf for 3 characters currently, but we're planning to add more golf.
Hmm.
And essentially, in this mode, you can't move, and you can only throw your hat. And the goal is to get
Ah.
That in one.
Do you
Nice.
plan on making this multiplayer at some point?
it's potentially in the cards. It just depends on how many people are interested in golf. Right now, people seem to be very interested in golf.
It's a different game, so it looks pretty fun.
It's pretty sick. Like once you're comfortable with the King of the Hat controls. Oh, I almost had a hat on there. Yeah, once you're comfortable with the hat controls, it gets very fun. Like there's the whole, do you guys know about jiggling, which is like when I think it's called hat recall in the game. We call it jiggling. It's just the colloquial term. Like
Mhm.
once you wear your hat, you can like nudge the hat again afterwards.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh.
it's a very important aspect of the golf mode.
Huh.
Now, does it just have to hit the stick
It just has to land in that yellow area next
or the
to
yellow
it.
ladder? Okay.
So, like there's some curving involved and I don't know how to get there.
One.
Nice.
And like in terms of the perfect score, a lot of people have found ways to go beyond perfect.
Hmm.
And so yeah, if you do get beyond perfect, it'll say beyond perfect.
Oh, really?
Huh.
Five.
How does that happen? Because you keep getting it in one shot. I'm curious of how you'd even do that.
People figure it out, you know.
Beyond.
We also have beyond
Oh,
both.
that-
Yeah, you can also restart, so you can try and get.
that's really
Oh, that's cool.
really good.
So you could take mulligans as many as you want, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's all.
How many courses are in head golf as of now?
There's 18 per character, and there's 3 characters, and then we're planning to release more very soon.
Are they unique to each character or
Exactly.
awesome?
Oh, come on. There we go.
That's one.
Well done. Well done.
Nice.
So yeah, in order to
Good.
get a lot of the perfects, you have to know how to curve your hat and stuff.
I guess it's actually, it's probably, I mean, if you get to play the game a little bit and then you try this, it's probably a good practice for you
Yeah.
later on when you go back to the other game. When you're playing somebody, you've now kind of figured out how to curve your hat and do different things, right?
Of course, yeah, like a lot of people have learned the game way better than ever before because we have a tutorial now, which
Mhm.
kind of teaches people the base mechanics, and then people tend to play golf as like one of the first things they do in the game. So at a base, they're just starting with all these tools that they've never had before.
Right.
Oh, this is a 1. Wow. Okay.
That's one.
Oh, nice.
That's all.
So this is 2. But there you go. I'm pretty sure this can be done with 1. There you go. So that's beyond perfect.
Oh,
nice. Yeah.
That's all.
That was
That's
pretty
cool.
good. Ooh.
One.
Got to put a portal on that one.
Yeah, that would be sick, actually. I think in the new golf levels that we're working on now, we're considering portals
Yeah.
as a main mechanic.
In one.
Are you gonna put down like upside down levels eventually? That'd be pretty crazy.
That'd be hilarious.
Birdie.
Oh, that's cool.
Well done.
That's all.
Nice. So I just need the birthday ones.
That's really cool.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
like different ones for Fat Cat and Sierra. Like, this is just, I'll just show you like 1 or 2 of these.
Oh, his is a lot. Oh, right, because it did say his is like the most powerful throws in the game. So it
Yeah.
makes sense you give him an open area to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, come on.
This is 1?
That's one.
Okay.
You got it.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Golf. So golf is also like pretty
That's all.
fan favorite. I'm not sure what people like more, golf or washing machine. Unclear yet, you know?
These are definitely the most popular areas of the game so far since
Yeah.
launch.
And you said you had one more type of gameplay, right? The
Yeah, arcade mode, which is kind of
Arcade mode. Right.
Yeah. So right now we have like a pretty basic arcade with easy, normal, hard. We at some point we had written a story for this, but we decided not to launch it because it wasn't ready yet. So
Yeah.
we're considering launching it in the future, but at the moment there's no plans.
Yeah.
We're planning to upgrade this mode over time.
Birthday. Birthday.
But in its current state,
One.
it's pretty good for helping people learn how to play the game. At this point, I'm too strong for the arcade mode. I need to play Superhuman, which is what we're releasing soon. Another level of bot on top of this level.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
That's on.
So did you guys all, as a team, kind of come up with all these different levels that you have?
Yeah, we have one person on the team called Chris who does most of the level design.
Okay.
And then in general, like all of us together are like the design brain behind the stuff. So like, let's say somebody makes something, it has to pass through all of us before it can make it into the game.
Right.
Oh no. Maybe I'm not too good for the boss here. Oh my god, it's my butt.
So with the story, is that why some like there's money for each of the levels? Like
Yeah,
what's the money used for?
You want to answer this question?
Sure. I mean, currently the money is used for absolutely nothing.
Ah,
You just accumulate it. But unlike in real life, you can't do anything with it. So you just hoard it. Good dragon.
Yeah, we thought that would be hilarious, but people did not. People are just like, what do I use the money for?
Well, you
that's
could
even
do
more funny because they don't understand it.
you could do they can buy alternate outfits or alternate colors and stuff, I guess, right? Something like that. Maybe some alternate hats.
Yeah, that would be amazing, honestly. I wish we had the foresight to do that. We might have the hindsight, the 2020 hindsight of like, we should add a shop.
Right.
Yeah, you can see that's
Oh, no worries. I was gonna say, like, if you kill someone, then they turn into a slime. You want to
I noticed I was able to run around as one for a bit before it did the cutaway. When I
yeah,
played.
if you want to disrespect them, you can kill them with the slime. I keep missing it. If you hit the slime with your hat, it'll kill it, and that's like ultra disrespect to the opponent.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's pretty funny.
Oh yeah.
Wow, he's escaping pretty well.
Oh, he knew.
That's kind of a quick tour of the surface area of the game.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
great.
I should just check in with both of you because we've been going for a bit over an hour. So I don't know if you have any other questions for us beyond the gameplay, but I'm certainly here and happy to answer whatever is left.
Yeah. Well, I guess the only other thing we've got is you guys going to be doing any gaming conventions in the near future to promote the game?
We'd certainly like to. Right now, there's nothing on the books, but or on the calendar. But we definitely would love to, get out there now that the game's actually out, so people can buy it.
Right.
We've loved to show the game.
Yeah.
Whatever. What are you planning on going to any conventions?
Yeah, I mean, I know PAX East is a big one here up in the Boston area, and they last year it was smaller because of still some post-COVID issues with some of the bigger developer and companies and stuff like that. But there was a lot of indie developers there last year, so it was really nice to kind of be able to see a lot of different games.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, like that. So that's like pretty much the tour of the game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's awesome.
definitely gonna play some more tonight. That's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
So anything else you guys want to promote other than the game itself, and have people just check out your check you out on Twitter and follow you on Twitter and Facebook and anything else?
Discord.
Discord.
Please buy the game if you like what you see. It certainly helps support our development. And if you have any comments, leave a review so the Steam algorithm can favor us. Blessed be Gaben. And beyond that, we're here to make this game and answer your questions and play hat and bring this to console next year.
Yeah, and also if something in the game sucks, just let us know, so we can fix it.
Yes, we want to know.
We we're no hard feelings. We're not precious about our ideas or anything like that. So always feedback is always welcome.
Right. Yeah, that's always important. Anything else you have, Mr. K?
I do want to ask him about that thing afterwards, but for the show, no.
Okay. All right. I will. So this will end our interview with you guys. So thank you very much for taking the time.
Yeah, thanks for joining.
And
By the way,
Thank you for having us.
yeah, and so we'll put this out there on YouTube, and I'll also be posting all this on our podcast sites and stuff like that. People can download our podcasts on just about all those different platforms. So it's kind of nice to have it out there for everything. And we've just started really getting going on the YouTube channel. So I think that's one of the things we wanted to do is get interviews with developers out there for more people to see. So instead of just listening to the podcast, see it as well. So it's be great to have this, and then hopefully we can do some gameplay too as well and put that on there.
We'll definitely have to talk again, and maybe we can all play King of the Hat online sometime.
yeah,
sounds
come
good.
join us on
Yeah.
the Discord.
Yeah, join our Discord and
You kick our asses, that's for sure.
we'll make it a fair match with probably.
Well, that's some handicaps. for
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. Nice. All right. Well, thank you guys. And,
Hey guys, how's it going? I hope you enjoyed the episode. We're on Facebook and Twitter, and if you go on our website with the same name, you can also find us on all the other kinds of stuff you can listen to us to. Anyways, hope you have a wonderful day, folks. Stay indestructible, and peace.